Hey folks, Ryan here, Man Would Be Night. I wanted to share some thoughts I had about something I saw on Facebook a couple weeks ago. It was an event shared by some family and friends shortly after the election. It was called Mass Exodus from Facebook. And what it was is this conservative lady, she had like Trump supporter or something like that in her handle. She was saying that too much Facebook censorship, too much censorship of the entire conservative point of view on Facebook, and I think by implication these other mainstream social media platforms. So on Friday the 13th, November 2020, we're all gonna walk off Facebook. Mass exodus. Everybody come to this thing called Parler, or maybe it was MeWe, I don't know. Let's all go to this alternate social media site where we can be uncensored conservatives together. So this reminded me of something that I saw that, first of all, let me preface this by saying I'm not a fan of social media. Like if you, and that seems ironic since I saw it on social media. So the only social media that I have a presence on is Facebook. And that's solely so that I can keep up with friends and family. And I notice that when I use it more, when I'm mindlessly scrolling, or when I'm using it more than a few minutes a day, really, it has a negative effect on my mood, productivity, ability to be present, causes me to worry about all sorts of things I can't affect. So, and there's been lots of studies saying that social media in general can have negative effects on your mental and emotional health. So anybody who wants to get off Facebook because it's unhealthy for you, absolutely, 100%. Go for it. I wholeheartedly support that. But I'm a little bit cautious about this idea of dropping one social media platform for another, especially this notion that we're going to go somewhere where we're going to find our own people and we're going to have our own fun little conservative social media platform over here that all these nasty liberals aren't going to infect with their liberality, which the Wokeness Movement is obviously the very opposite of liberality, but that does not mean that we can do without liberals. And here's what it reminds me of, is way back in, it was after COVID, about when the riots were starting in Seattle, a lot of my liberal friends were posting this variations on this theme, like, if you don't agree that the cops are oppressors, then just unfriend me now, or delete me now. Like, that's what the general tone was. And I didn't like it. I did not like that at all. I didn't delete anybody, obviously, because one, you can't tell me what to do, so there's that. But two, that's a very dangerous trend, to delete somebody or cut off contact with somebody because they disagree with you. I'm very skeptical, or very, very suspicious of that trend. And I think with good reason. I've been to a number of places on Earth where there's this hardened ideological divide between two sides, a polarized society. Sunni, Shia comes to mind. Other places, so the reds and yellows in Thailand is another example. There's a tendency in human nature to us versus them. It's a reflexive, I think, throwback from our days when the tribe was the primary social and economic and political and personal reality. So everybody in the tribe, by definition, was the ally, and everybody outside the tribe, by definition, was by definition, was the enemy, or at least suspect. And this is 100% happening in America right now. We are on that path towards complete tribalism. When you say, if you don't agree with me, just delete me, what you're saying is, you are beyond salvage. You're not even worth having a conversation with anymore. We cannot agree on the basic fundamentals of what to argue about. So, to paraphrase Aristotle, there's nothing left for it but for us to hit each other with sticks. When we abandon discourse because we disagree, there is nothing left for us to do but resort to violence. If you do not think that that can happen in America, you are not a student of history, and you are not a student of human nature. This fracturing of an entire country is mirrored all over the world. One thinks of the Sunnis, or the Hutus and Tutsis in Rwanda in 1994. The ethnic cleansing in Armenia, us versus them getting gradually more polarized and leading to violence is a perennial story in human history. It happens over and over and over and over again. So this may seem like a really dim view of the future, dim view of human nature. I don't know what the future holds. I pray it doesn't hold violence for our country. I do know for a fact that there are people out there that are trigger happy and itching for a second civil war. I do know for a fact that there are people out there who are trying to destroy society because they want to see anarchy. Most of them have never seen anarchy, that's why they want to see it. Most of the people who want civil war have never seen war, that's why they want to see it. Every step towards demonizing the other and towards ceasing discourse with the other needs to be resisted. So if you're getting off Facebook because it's not good for your mental health, carry on with your bad self. Like, that is 100% reasonable thing to do. Don't substitute one social media network for another social media network. Because when you get to this other one, you're not going to find a paradise, you're going to find people. And they're going to be the same broken people that you found on the old Facebook. You're going to find people with ideas that are different than yours. You're going to find people that don't know how to listen, that don't know how to modulate their ideas. And whereas before, and you're going to have blinders on. So as before, you could always say, well, the algorithm is what is shaping this myopic worldview where I can only see one side. So your news feed is full of only right-wing sources or only left-wing sources. Before, you can blame the algorithm, but now you have nobody to blame but yourself because you moved to an echo chamber where the stated purpose was to post only sources from one side. Now, if you're smart, you realize that even in Facebook, the algorithm is driven by your clicks. You're the one who's teaching the algorithm what to show you. So my wife's Facebook is full of baby pictures and canning recipes because that's what she clicks on. She's trained her algorithm well to provide her with a restful and relaxing atmosphere on Facebook. Other people are not quite so fortunate or have different interests. But if you think you're going to escape human nature by leaving Facebook, you're wrong. And I think the best thing anybody could do right now would be to leave Facebook, or at least cut back on it. And that goes for Twitter, Instagram, all these things. Cut back on this deluge of misinformation, half information, false information that's pouring over us. Most of it's just opinion and BS. And get to know somebody. Like, actually get out in the world, get some dirt on your hands, get sweaty in the gym, which reminds me I'm supposed to be working out right now. And meet your neighbor, especially if they have different political views than you. Build rapport with them, humanize them. The opposite of this polarization is humanization, realizing that the other person is a person with interests, with likes, with a whole backstory that got them to where they are, just like you have a whole backstory that got you to where you are. Have a conversation. Learn to love the other person so that you would not be able to fight them. Because we don't want to fight. I don't want you to fight them. I don't want them to fight you. I don't want anybody to fight me. I don't want to have to fight anybody. I think that's where we're lacking in society, is we don't have leaders so much as we have managers and bellwethers in politics. If you don't know what a bellwether is, look it up. I don't have time to go into it right now. I gotta get back to my workout. But anyway, that's just what I'm thinking. Resist every movement towards polarization. Resist it. That's the bottom line. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I gotta get back to training here.